Hi Taurus, this is Heather, the medium on a mission, bringing you your February forecast. And what I'll do for the readings is go body, mind, love, and spirit. So I haven't traditionally incorporated love unless it comes up, but I'm going to be doing that for February. It is, the month of love with Valentine's Day, and I just think it's good. It's important balance with spirit. The spirit always brings through love, and so I think it's important to talk about that as well. So with that being said, I'll jump in terms of the channeled messages that I received for you all. So I was getting slow and steady, and this feeling of, it's like I saw you running forward, this feeling of wanting to go through this, move on to this next thing, or there's something, but I see you running backwards, like, no, I can't do it, and spirit's urging you, keep moving forward. And it's this feeling of, you don't have to do it on anyone else's timeline. You don't have to be going super fast. It's whenever you run a race or any type of, I'm not a marathon runner, but anyone who's done any sort of race or anything endurance based, it's all about steadying your pace. And it's this feeling of, you don't have to keep going super fast. You just have to keep a consistent pace throughout so you don't burn out. And so I feel like for you guys, it's really important for you to know that it's just about the steadiness of that versus trying to do too many things at once and overwhelming yourself. Because I feel this feeling of like, when I overwhelm, I just shut down and I'm done. And so I feel like I want to acknowledge that with you as well. And as I'm saying that, I do have a gentleman that's coming forward, an older gentleman, and I just feel like he's really wanting to encourage you to keep moving forward. I feel like I keep hearing, like, don't let fear get in your way. Don't let fear get in your way. And this feeling of, you've got to sort of release this fear that's attached to this. It feels like some of you might actually be physically going back to something. Like, it could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a place of residence, but it's this feeling of fear associated in trepidation. I'm getting that as well. But I feel like I just want to encourage you and say, you're doing the right thing, and trust your gut on this, because I do feel like the stuff that's happening is intended to advance you and make you wiser. And I feel like I just don't want you to get caught up in the fear. I feel like I just need to keep emphasizing that for you. It's interesting, this man that's coming through, he is a heavier set man, and I'm getting a mustache as well. That's in heavier set, it's all perspective, right? So he's not obese, but I do feel like he's got he's a little bit of a larger man, and he's coming forward. He would have been someone that would have been pragmatic with his time. Anytime Spirit shows me the watch that they're wearing, or there may have been something significant with the watch as well, but he's showing me that. So I feel like this is someone who, but it feels also symbolism to your reading as well. And this feeling of always feeling like you have to be somewhere or be on time or pragmatic about things and do things just so. And I feel like this month I want to tell you just to sit with it and feel into your energy in terms of what you want to do, versus feeling like you have to be somewhere. For example, if you have a gym membership, or you feel like, well, everyone else is doing this, so I better go do that. You can take a break. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. So I just feel like I want to honor that for you. And with that being said, we'll jump into the reading. So again, this is body and mind. And so I'll pull 2 cards from this deck, and then spirit messages you have for Taurus for the month of February for now, honey. Okay. Ooh, okay. Yep, there we go. So I'm getting some information in terms of enlightenment for you as well this month. This feeling of really wanting, okay, yeah, there's this feeling of wanting to, the pace of things, like I've got to get this down, I've got to figure this out. Some of you, this might have to be with your spiritual development as well. It's this feeling of sort of looking around and comparing, and this month I really want you to just focus on yourself and not sort of worry what's around you or what's around the corner. It's all at your own pace. And yep, oh wow, okay. That just goes beautifully with these cards here. So we've got Truth Seeker, the third eye, which is 6. And we've got Yin and Yang, which is all about balance, right? And self-care. So to me, I mean, and this is card 40 here as well. So it's interesting. So to me, this is all about And I'm also getting, there's the correlation with this is 6 and 40, but if you reduce it down, it's 10. And this feeling of really sort of taking care of yourself this month, and the feeling of not really, like, this is very much the feeling what I'm getting. It's about, you know, taking care of yourself and not worrying where you have to be or what you should be doing. You're right on your path. And so I feel like there's a nervous energy for some of you, and because I keep getting this person running, and it's this, it doesn't have to be literal running, but it's this feeling of having to, it's like I got to keep moving. If I'm not moving, I'm not going anywhere. And I feel like I want to tell you that it's okay. It's okay. So Spirit, what messages do you have for Taurus from a love perspective? Messages for February for a love perspective. What do they need to know at this time? Okay, so love makes the difference. Love can help heal past hurts and provide a sense of security, self-worth, and importance. And to me, this really goes back to self-care and the whole balance of what we've got here, right? So it's about neutralizing and kind of taking the balance of the things that have occurred in your life. But I also feel like, again, there's something from the past. There's some element of nostalgia, or kind of looking back at the past and feeling like, I just feel a critical energy for you, to yourself. And I feel like I want to tell you that this is not, you really have to be in that space of love for oneself in order to really be able to open up to the others around you. But you know, and that I feel that energy of Whitney Houston, kind of the greatest love of all is to love yourself. And I get this feeling around that. And it's interesting too, because if you look, this is card 31, if you can see that there, and this is card 40. And this is, to me, these really go hand in hand in terms of the energies and that balance of oneself. I feel like for you, not to say that you're not going to have romantic love in your life for February, or that it's not part of it, but for you, this is all about loving yourself and putting energy into yourself. And it's interesting because I feel like when I did your 2020 readings, I really got that sense of, this is your time. This is all about you. It's about expressing who you are, how you show up in the world. And in order to do that, you really have to become in tune with yourself. What are your truths? What is this balance within yourself that you're trying to kind of harmonize and bring into that balance? And it's interesting because I just did your bonus 2020 reading. And that's the biggest thing that came through there as well. Stable, right in the spot, the stability energy there, the earth signs. And it was all about stability, which is balance here. And you've had the balancing of the scales. This is quite amazing in terms of the flow and the energy of what Spirit's trying to articulate for you. So I just think it's quite beautiful. And so let's see here. And then we've got the self-care. So that, to me, that all goes quite nicely in terms of what Spirit's trying to articulate. And I feel like this feeling of really going within and connecting with yourself there. So let's pull one final message in terms of what Spirit has from a spiritual perspective for the month of February. So this is just the general Spirit messages. This would be from the collective Spirit energies. That is ultimately love. What do they have to say for you for the month of February for Taurus? All right, let's see here. Wow, sensitivity. And I'm just, wow, this is amazing. So card 15, and I'm really just drawn to this rose and the beauty of this that's coming out here. And I'm going to actually read the card here because I feel like there's more to that message that I want to make sure to be able to really articulate. The one thing I'm hearing too, though, is there's something significant to the, and I'm for some reason, I don't, sometimes Spirit will speak in songs, and I'm getting for you this message like the Bette Midler song, and it's not something on my forefront, and so it's kind of, when it comes in, I have to honor it. But this feeling of like that in the spring becomes a rose, and there might be something significant for you in the month of March or around spring, wherever, if you're in the northern or southern hemisphere, there's something significant for around that time frame, wherever your spring is. Northern hemisphere is in March. But there's something around the blossoming of this too. And I keep getting, there is something too, it's interesting because I'm seeing the blue here, but I also have this feeling of speaking and kind of for you to be able to bring into this life in general, but it's emphasized in February, what you're really seeking in life. It's about being able to speak your truth and speak up for what that is, and knowing, again, it's interesting here, the connection with this, because it's this feeling of knowing that the beauty of the way you feel and honoring of oneself, that's really important for you for the month of February. So this is all about heightened intuition and compassion. And it's basically saying here you're becoming more sensitive to the energy and the vibrations that precede all physical creation. And it's interesting too, because look at this here, the truth seeker, the third eye. There's something very, oh my gosh, you guys, and as I'm asking Spirit for more information and clarity, it's fascinating how they can give it to me just very clear like that. And they just said, look at the numbers. And I'm like, okay, so, because I saw it earlier, but I was like, well, I'm not sure what they're saying here. That's 15, card 15, that's 6. These, and I was going to put this over here, and they said, no, put it over here. And so I'm just quite amazed here in terms of this. There's something, some of you might be opening up spiritually on a different level. And when you go through this process, it's really important that you are in this space. You are self-care, because it can be overwhelming. The feelings and sensations of what comes your direction, it's very overwhelming. You know, that they talk about the spiritual journey, and that a lot of you will go through the dark night of the soul in order to get there, and to really, there is no there, but it's the process of evolving in heightened sensitivity. So the price of sensitivity is sensitivity. And so this is what you're really going through at this time. So for the month of February, just be gentle with yourself. Just know that this is all part of the process, part of your evolution. Taurus, I feel for 2020 for you, a lot of new beginnings, a lot of, it's like the emergent, the phoenix. And in order to do that, you have to go through these processes in your life. And so I feel it's going to be a beautiful month for you, but this is very much about honoring yourself and really taking care of yourself this month. So Taurus, I hope this reading was helpful. I wish you an amazing February, and namaste.